Hello. In this video, we're going to move to the next stage of this form. Let's try to enter community name to continue. Continue 111, testing for the description, and then click next. Then you're going to see the next stage of this form to style your community banner and then avatar. So here, I'm gonna have different title and description compared to the stage 1. And then we're gonna have different preview card looking slightly different from this, right? The second stage has the banner and then avatar placeholder. And then when you add the image, then you're gonna see the actual banner here, right? Avatar will be the same. And then we're gonna have banner forms fields here, right? And then we're gonna have a footer. In this video, we're going to focus on the header of the dialog, the preview, and the footer, because this one would take a little longer, so I decided to record it in the next video. I forgot to mention the footer is also different, right? It has back button, but if you go to stage 1, it has cancel button, right? So I'll be starting with the footer because we don't have the mechanism to move to the second stage at this point. If you click the next, it doesn't go anywhere, right? So let's go to our code base and then let's deep dive in. Okay, here I'm gonna have community create dialog component. In this component, we have all different dialog specific component here, right? It has content and then header, card, form, and the footer. Inside of the footer, we have different kinds of buttons. One is cancel, the other one is next. Currently, our next button doesn't do anything, right? So in order to move to the next stage, we need to have a handler here. The handler will be called on next click. This guy will be received from the parent component. So let's just start with typing it and then receive as prop here. Yeah, looking good. Then you're going to see the error popping up here, right? So, because we are not passing the prompt that we are asking for. The handler name will be handleNext. Okay. Then I'm going to copy this text and then scroll somewhere here. I'm going to have one handler called the handleNext. And then inside of this handler, I'm going to handle the state of the stage. Before we come up with the state, I just want to make it a little bit consistent, okay? I'm going to convert it to arrow function so that I will have less questions, okay? And then let's come up with the state. Here, I'm going to have the use state from React. And then this guy will be holding the stages in the set stage. And then in order to type it, I'm going to come up with the enum. Some people might be asking, why not union type? You can, but I'm not a big fan of having hard-coded value like that, right? And then some developers are not welcoming these type of code. So I would come up with the enum called community create stage that has stage 1 and 2. Yeah, looking good. Then what is value of that? Take a look. Start with a 0 and then increment by 1 like this, right? You can also give the explicit value of the enum if you want, but I don't want to do this. I want to have value that is number so that I can increment and decrement to switch the stage a little bit easier. So I'll start with the 1. Then if you don't have explicit value, the stage 2 value will be 2. And then if you want to start with the 5, then this guy becomes 6, right? But I'll go with the 1 to match with this text, okay? So here, this guy will be our time to manage the state. And then we're going to have, oops, what happened? State 2, right? And then we're going to have default state that is 1. Looking good. Then how can we know this state is incrementing and decrementing, right? Currently not, because we're not setting the state yet, right? So let's try to increment first, okay? I'll receive the previous state to currently 1, and then I'm gonna add up 1 to make it 2. Then this stage will be 2 after clicking the next button, right? But how do we know? So I'll be rendering the form fields differently. If you scroll down inside of form, we have community create stage 1, right? I'm gonna render conditionally here, okay? If a stage is equal to community create stage 1, then I'll be rendering this specific component. If it's a 2, then I'll be rendering different thing, okay? Yeah, looking good. But here, the content needs to be different, right? I'm gonna have one div tag with the text 2 for now, okay? So then let's take a look, right? Hopefully everything is good. No error in this file. So here, when you open up the dialog and then fill up the community name and description, hit next, look at that. Now we are looking at different content in this dialog, right? So looking good, looking good. Then now let's try to finish this footer section first, okay? So if you take a look, it has a cancel button, but in here we have a back button, right? So here inside of the footer, I'm gonna have one more button called back. This back button is going to have a handler, right? We need to allow user to go to previous stage. So I'm gonna have on click event, and then the handler name will be on back click, okay? And then this guy also will be received from parent component, okay? And then receive as a from. Then you see the error, right? I'm gonna just copy, and then on back click, I'm gonna handle back. Here, I'll be just copy pasting this guy, and then I'm gonna change one name to handle back. Yeah, looking good. But since user needs to go to stage 1 from 2, right? So we need to decrement it, right? So then let's take a look. If you have it here, let's open them again. Sorry, a lot of going back and forth. And then next. Oh, I think I forgot to change the name. It gotta be back, right? So let's do that. The back button, right? Yeah, let's take a look again. Yeah, back button, next, back, next, back. Cancer is not doing anything, right? Yeah, we're gonna handle this button a little bit differently with the stage state. Okay, so let's do a little bit more. This guy should not be visible when it's on second stage, right? And this guy should not be visible on the first stage, right? So in order to handle that, we're going to receive the state that is community create stage enum, right? We need to export this guy, right? But I don't want to have all the types in this single file because this file will become really bulky. So I will try to have a new folder called the types. And then in the file index.ts, I'll be holding this guy. Okay. Yeah, let's pass it. By the way, this types is inside of the communities folder. Okay. Yeah, just don't get confused. And then let's import to here. Here, right? And then let's close the index file. And then here, I'm gonna hit save to import to 2, right? And then receive a stage as a product, and then handling it dynamically. Here, this cancel button will be only shown when stage is equal to the community create stage is 1. Then I'm gonna show this, okay? If a stage is not 1, then I'm gonna render this back button, okay? Yeah, let's take a look now. Here, when you do that, currently shows back. Oh, interesting. Why it's not 1? Oh, I see. Sorry, my bad. So because we are not passing the stage to this guy, right? So let's pass the stage here. Sorry, my bad. Stage. Then you're gonna see cancel button, right? Then when you go to the next, then you see back button. Okay, awesome, right? It's great. But cancel button currently doesn't do anything. This guy meant to close this dialog, right? So I'm gonna add one component to cancel button. So here in the footer, with the cancel button, I'm gonna have one component called dialog close from component UI dialog. This component has one handler that closes the dialog that being opened up, right? One thing that I want to talk about is this guy is a button and this guy is also a button. We don't need to have nested buttons, right? So in order to merge them, I'm going to have as a child. Okay. Then this functionality will be passed to this button. Okay, let's take a look now here. So now if I press cancel, oh, look at that. And then when I click next, goes to the next and the back. Yeah, awesome. Looking great, right? So then now let's make a quick commit and then continue. Okay, so here I'm gonna do git add, git commit. I'm gonna say enhance the footer of the dialog. Okay, yeah, looking good. And then now let's do a little bit more. So here, if you look at the title and the description, it's the same as the first stage, right? But second stage need to have a different title and the description. Take a look. Style your community. But first one is tell us about your community, right? So here, to render these two, we need to use the stage to make the content different, right? So here, if you, let me just close the folder because it's done. In the community create dialog header, we have those title and the description. In here, I'll be receiving the stage, okay? So stage is community, create stage, and then this prompt will be passed here to type it, and then receive stage. With this stage, I want to have something like this. I will have object called community create dialog header text. And then in this object, I'm gonna have stage 1 has title, title something, and description something. And then this key is accessed via this stage. Okay, so that is my plan. The reason why I'm doing that is the object to make the information access so much quicker than the array or any other things, right? So that's why I decided to use this. But if you don't like it, yeah, let me know in the comments down below. I might hear some better solution from you, okay? So of course, I don't like this 1 and 2 hard coded. So I'm gonna do this. Community create stage 1, then has its own title and description. And then when it's a 2, then it has its own title and description. Okay, so looking good. Then here, let's try to cut this guy and then paste here. And then this one, the same thing, cut and then paste. Weird. Yeah, so looking good. Yeah, make sure to remove unnecessary space. Let's shut down this one. So then what we can do is accessing title and description this way. So I'm gonna have this and then using square bracket to use variable as a key and then title. Yeah, so looking good. And then I'm gonna copy this guy and then paste it and then change it to description. Yeah, looking good, looking good. Then let's try to copy title and description from the Reddit application. Style your community will be title. And then description will be this, right? So I'm gonna copy here. Yeah, looking good. And then let's try to pass this stage to this header, right? So stage equal to stage. Yeah, all the error is gone, right? Then let's quickly test here. When I have name and description, click next. Look at that. style your community, but this guy is tell us about your community. Awesome. So then it's good. And then let's move to the community preview card here. Currently, we have a preview card that is the same as the first stage, right? But here it looks different, right? Let me remove the image here. So here, this first stage looking like this, second stage looking like this. So in order to add those placeholder of the banner and then avatar, we need to have a prompt that is true here. Then let's take a look here. Yeah, look like that, right? But this true is hard to code. I don't like it, right? This guy will be only true when stage is equal to community create stage to be 2 only, right? Then take a look here. When it's stage 1, it looks like that. When it's 2, it looks like that. Awesome. But when it's a 3, we need to do a little bit different, right? When it's a 3, we should not show any preview card, right? The same as fourth stage 2, right? So I'm gonna hide this guy when it's not stage 1 and 2, right? So I'm gonna do when stage is equal to community create stage dot 1, or when stage is 2, and then I'm gonna render this. I'm gonna wrap the round bracket here. Yeah, looking good. So then I think it should look okay. Yeah. Stage 3, let me check. Oh, sorry, I don't think we have a stage 3 yet, that's why. But for now, do not worry, I'm sure it's gonna work. If not, I can fix it, okay? So that is my logic. And the form, I want to do it, but this guy can be a little bit complex later, so I'm gonna leave just the stage 2 for now, okay? So I think that's it, right? So let's take a look. Let me refresh. So here we have a stage 2, header is different, preview is different, and then this footer is different. So looking good. So I'm gonna wrap this one up, and then we'll continue in the next video, okay? So let's make a quick commit. Git add, git commit, render the header and preview card dynamic. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.